Welcome back to Everything But the Lesson Plan, the podcast where we go beyond the curriculum and dive into what truly makes teaching so impactful. I am your host, Franchesca Thompson, and today we're shining a spotlight on becoming the teacher journey, a segment where real teachers share their stories straight from the classroom. From the unforgettable aha moments to the tough days that test your resilience, this episode is about the voices that often go unheard, the teachers who are on the front line of every single day. These stories aren't scripted, they're raw, they're real, and they're full of heart. Joining me is Dr. Marcia Credle, a deeply committed educator whose journey from her early days in the classroom to earning her doctorate has shaped not just her career, but her philosophy of teaching. She is now a teacher leader in her school, supporting the journey of new teachers and helping parents to adjust to high school. We'll hear about the highs, those breakthrough moments when everything just clicks, about the lows, the long nights of grading, and the inevitable setbacks, and everything in between. We'll talk about what motivated Dr. Cradle to begin this path. Stay tuned. This is a conversation you don't want to miss because this story is one of perseverance, transformation, and the teacher's voice. Welcome to the show, Dr. Cradle. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you, soon to be Dr. Thompson?
Hey, I'm ready for it.
Hi.
Well, I am excited about our conversation.
Me
Overdue,
too.
long overdue, because we got so much to talk about with your conference, and then you have this teacher award that you give every year. And I
Mhm.
just can't wait for you to share your journey as an educator to inspire so many others. So first, let's
Oh,
get to where are you from?
I am from, as I tell people, the metropolis of New Bern, North Carolina.
Yes. And so we work together and we're
Yes.
always talking about North Carolina. And it's just, because Fayetteville, and that's where I
Hmm.
was raised, well, was born. But we ended up moving to Greensboro. So these are my North Carolina peoples today, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And your mother was an educator, and I'm sure that inspired you. So give me some information on that.
So I remember when I was an undergrad, I would come home. My mother was an educator for over 30 years. And
Wow.
so when I would come home for break, I needed some money. And so
Mm-hmm.
she would always have me be a substitute for her or for some of her friends at her school so that I could make some money.
Mm-hmm.
And she would always say, "Oh, you're so good with the kids. You really should go into education." I was like, "Not me. No, no, that's not my path. I just do it to get some extra money so I can, I won't be such a broke college student."
Yeah.
And it kind of lay dormant for 10 years after I
Wow.
graduated. Yeah. Well, 8, because I ended up going back to get a master's in special education. And
Okay.
so it lay dormant for all that time. But every time I would sub, I really always had a good time with the kids. I had really good classroom management. And I think that was one of the big things because, with a sub, they try some of everything. But I was like, my mom is an educator. I've been playing school since I was 5. We're not doing that in
We're
this
not doing that.
class. We're not doing that. So yeah, that was
That's how
how
you got
I
it.
I got started. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, one thing I love hearing of your stories is about how you were raised and how your mother was on y'all about your spelling. Okay, so guys, do you want to know who it can spell better than Google? It's Dr. Cradle. Okay.
I,
Google does not have anything on Dr. Cradle. Okay.
If my mother were alive, she would be so happy to hear that because that was her spelling and handwriting.
Uh-huh.
We had, and I can see it vividly. We had this little, and these kids don't know nothing about this, but a chalkboard
Uh-huh.
that she would make us, and that's why I can write on the board. I can write in straight lines on the
On
board.
the board.
On the board. And she
Wow.
used to make us practice writing over, and then we'd have, if the school wasn't giving us a spelling test, my mother was. She would
Yeah.
give us a list of words. We had to know how to spell them. So, at the time, of course, it didn't seem like such a good thing because it's like,
Yeah.
I just want to go outside. But she's
Yeah.
like, after you do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's a really good lesson that has carried you out through your whole life. And you
yes.
look, she will catch it, okay? I have to get her to proofread my stuff sometimes. So that's good. So tell us a little bit about the subject area. Where did you start when you landed your first job in education?
Sure. Yeah, I when the teaching bug finally hit me, I was living in Virginia Beach,
Okay.
and I said, I'm going to go over to ODU and just take one class, just to see what it's like. And I met this young lady, and she said, "Well, what are you going to major in?" I was like, I don't know. And she said, she told me about a program that was offering fellowships for people to major in special education.
Okay.
And so that's what my master's is in, special education with an emphasis in learning disabilities and emotional behavioral disorders.
Wow.
So I took that one class and the bug just bit me. I was like, I just picked up that next semester. I added two more classes and I just kept going because I did get into that fellowship program. So I was very blessed. I did not have to pay for my master's program because of that fellowship and
Good.
just got a lot of experiences, got to be in schools in and around Norfolk. So that's where I started. And my
Mm-hmm.
my first job as an educator was and people don't believe this, but I used to teach at an elementary school. That was my first job. I had fourth and fifth graders. And
Wow.
that was something.
I bet you
Fourth
it
and fifth
was.
grade.
Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
you it was. I never had to really work. Well, I did work with elementary school kids when I had my own camp, but
Hmm.
I know that's different than being in the
Very,
classroom. So,
very.
I love working with the high schoolers.
I love high school. I tell people now, you literally could not pay me to go back.
Mm-mm,
I love
mm-mm.
working with high
Yeah,
school students.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So take us back to your classroom, your when you had your first class,
Hmm.
and what was it like as a classroom teacher?
So one thing that I would always pride myself on, and even when I started teaching high school, um, my classroom was a refuge for my students. It was a home
Mm,
because I always told them, when you're here, I'm responsible for you.
yeah,
So this is your home away from home. And we, just like home, we're going to have rules. And
yeah,
so, they knew I was tough on them, but they really, and I know it sounds cliche, but they really knew that I cared about them.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, but that's the way it was. And I had high expectations for them, very
Mm-hmm.
high. When you work with special needs or students that have some type of learning difference, that's what I call it, a learning difference. Sometimes people think, oh, well, they can't. No, they can. It just
Mm-hmm.
might take them a little longer.
Longer.
You might have to show them more than one, the way that you thought they would get it might not be it. But I always had these really high expectations for them. And I just always expected the best. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't understand what you mean you can't. I
yeah.
I and I used to, always they always tell me, you always, because I used to say, I that does not compute. That does not
Mm-hmm.
compute. I don't
Mm-hmm.
get it. What,
Yeah.
okay, let's try something else. So it was like a family for us. And I think that made it a safe space for them. And I always wanted them to have that too. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to have emotions because we're human, but we have to learn how to channel those emotions, what to do in different situations. So yeah, my class was always very home-like.
Yeah. And you know what? They needed that. And
Yeah.
that made a difference in their lives for sure. So tell me, did you ever have any mentors at all during your teaching experience? We know your mom
So
was, but anyone outside of the family that was a mentor to you?
so I did have one who was I would call her a mentor. Her name was Dr. Cooper. And
Hmm.
I met her when we moved to Winston-Salem, but by then I had been teaching for a while. By the
Yeah.
time we moved to Winston-Salem for a while. But prior to that, I because I was older than most, a lot of people coming into education, they were fresh out of college. I had
Yeah.
already done, and I think I shared this with you recently. I used to work for an ophthalmologist. I was a transplant coordinator.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I had done other things. I had been a manager for a retail store. So I
Hmm.
was older than them. So
Yeah.
even though sometimes they may have had a little bit more teaching experience, I had more life experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was more of a mentor to them. But like I said,
Yeah.
Dr. Cooper, she did mentor me when
That's
I
it.
moved to Winston-Salem.
Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you're currently now in Georgia.
Yes, yes, we are in Metro Atlanta.
Yes. So, where are you now as an educator? Let's tell us how many years you've been in education and where you are now and what does it look like as far as the future of this position for you?
So I was thinking about this the other day, friend, and I thought, wow, I
Hmm.
am completing my 30th year
My
of
goodness.
teaching. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
And I'm in a place now that I think affords me the opportunity to really be me. And I love helping people. I love, and again, it sounds cliche, but Fran can tell you if it's true or not, if I really
Hmm.
do help people.
She
And I
does.
love being a resource for people.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I love being able to help them find the things that they need to be successful in their classroom. And sometimes it's not just classroom stuff. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's life stuff.
Life stuff.
And I enjoy doing that. I enjoy helping people get to their best version of themselves.
Hmm.
So I'm not in the classroom anymore. I really work with teachers and with parents.
Parents.
And through that, I of course develop relationships with students. I know a lot of students, even though I'm not in the classroom. But I make it my business to, again, give them somewhere that they know that they can come, and if they need to release, if they need to ask questions, if they need resources, that's what I enjoy doing. And this position really affords me the opportunity to do that. And I have to shout out the person who um, interviewed and gave me the position that I have, and her name is Monique Lee.
Yeah.
She said, I think you would be great
For
at
this.
this. And so I thank her. She allowed me to just step into the role and just shine. So thank
Yeah.
you to Monique Lee. Yeah.
Yes, I love her. She's great.
Yes.
And so this has actually you being such a resourceful teacher, the kind of that teacher, educator who teachers go to and lean on. You give life advice. All of that stuff has led you down a path to starting your own company to
Yes.
support women.
Yes.
And males. So tell me a little bit about that. As I call ourselves, we're teacherpreneurs as well, because
Yes.
sometimes that stuff that we're learning in the classroom can be outside of that classroom and support
Mhm.
everybody. So tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about your company.
So, my company I started back in 2017, and I wrote a book. And
Okay.
the way that came about was coming into the building one morning, running just a tad bit behind, and I saw a colleague, and I said to her, the usual pleasantries. Good morning, how
Mhm.
are you? And I was continuing to walk, but what her answer was is what said, Marcy, you have to stop. She said, I'm not doing well.
Oh, wow. Mm.
And like I said, I was already late, but oh, well, it's okay because the statute of limitations is over. Yeah, I was late that day.
Yeah.
So I said, you know, the Holy Spirit said, you have to stop and talk to her. And so I did. I talked to her. We kind of talked through some things that she was dealing with.
Hmm.
And then I asked her, I said, well, is it okay if I send you some tips and resource? And that's how
Yeah,
I got started.
that's how
I
you got
started
started.
sending them to her. She shared them with one person, and that's how it got started. So yeah, back in 2017.
And what's the name of your company?
The name of my company is Cradle Inspired Enterprises.
Hmm.
And
And you've
I,
gone
I
on to
also
do
have a
conferences and everything now.
yes, yes. Listen, and Fran was a speaker at our conference this past year. If you missed
Yeah.
it, y'all, I just hate it for you.
And you
And
have
so
this conference annually?
annually, every year in March, the first
In
weekend
March.
in March. So for your audience, I'm telling you, go ahead and block your calendar. You
Yes.
want to be in Metro Atlanta. I think it's March 5th and 6th.
Okay.
This is where you want to be. Yeah.
Yes, you heard it. All right. And we're gonna have more in the show notes about it. So
Yeah.
just really just happy for you and your
Thank you so
journey.
much.
And just I mean it's just an inspiration for people who are listening. We have new teachers, we have veteran teachers, all are listening to the show, and you just never know how your story will impact them. And you've had different opportunities in
Hmm.
education that have allowed you to grow
Yes.
beyond, and so
Yeah.
that's really, really good. And so I hope people take that from this conversation. But what I would like for you to know, if you go back to that first year, I can still remember my first year. I actually
I do
cried
too.
that first week. Um, what would you tell your first year teacher self?
So I did not cry, but I was on the verge of tears
Yes.
because what I was trying to do, and I tell people this, I have the opportunity now to mentor our new teachers at our school.
Yeah.
That's one
Yeah.
of my roles. But what I tell them is don't try to burn the candle at both ends.
Mm,
Either you come in early and leave on time, or don't do both. Either
yeah,
come in early or stay late.
yeah,
Please, I beg of thee.
yeah,
Don't try to do both because if you do, you will burn out. You will
mm,
crash and burn
yeah,
because you're not allowing yourself time to rejuvenate. You're not allowing yourself time to relax. You need to have some fun sometimes.
yes,
You know,
yeah,
if you're staying at work, you get there. At high school here in Atlanta, high school starts early, right?
hmm,
So if you're getting to work at 6:30 and you're not leaving until 6:30, then that's 12 hours.
yeah,
You're
that's
going home. You're not, it makes you not eat properly. It
mm-hmm,
makes you not get enough exercise. It makes you not get enough rest. And so you can't be the best version of yourself if you're exhausted.
that's right. And
So
I'm glad you
pick
shared
one.
that. Yeah,
Pick one.
yeah. It's one
Yeah.
of those things that people don't think about, especially, and I think about our new teachers. They're just trying to
Hmm.
prove themselves, prove to
Right.
everybody, learn, and they do that,
Hmm.
staying extra late, coming in early, sometimes coming in on the weekends.
That
Um,
part.
go,
Trying to be a coach,
yeah,
coach, because in high school there are a lot of, and I'm not telling anybody not to coach. That's not what I'm saying.
yeah,
But you have to choose, and you
yeah,
have to make sure that you are taking time for you. Self-care is not selfish.
yeah. That's right. That is
Self-care is
right.
not selfish. I mean,
Mm.
my family will tell you, and friend, and because our offices are right across, we're always bouncing things off of each other. Our
Hmm.
offices are across the hall. But she knows when I get home, and I did it today, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you,
Yeah.
I come and I get a nap.
Yes.
Something my
Naps
sister
are
Bonnie
good.
used, yes, she used to try to make us take naps when we were little. And I used to tell her, when I grow up, I'm never taking naps. Sure.
Mm.
Now I love a nap. I mean,
Yes.
I would set my phone for 30, 40 minutes. And sometimes I fall asleep, sometimes I don't, but it's just time for me to just calm down
Yeah.
because we're going, that's just the way our society is now. Everybody's just going, 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 but you need time to rest.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I would suggest to any new teacher. Take the
Yes.
time when you get home from work, take 30 minutes, an hour just to do nothing. Read a
Mhm.
fun book, listen to a
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes. That's
Like this
it.
one.
And you have your own podcast. Tell them
Yeah.
your podcast.
Oh, okay. I do have a podcast. It airs live on Sunday nights. It's called Lean In with CWJ, and we talk about some of everything. So it's available on YouTube Live, and it's called Lean In with CWJ. It's also available on Facebook Live.
Love
So
it.
yeah, just take some time for you.
Yeah.
Do something you like to do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me today. How can people connect with you?
So they can find me on social media, um, uh, Cradle Inspired Enterprises HQ, because we
Okay.
got headquarters now, y'all.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, Cradle Inspired Enterprises HQ.
Okay.
On Instagram, I'm sorry, my daughter told me stop saying the whole thing. She said, just say IG, mom.
Oh,
Sorry,
IG. Yeah, they got to
IG,
keep us.
mom.
Look, you got one, I
Yeah.
got one. They just keep us all the way together.
Yes, they do. But on there, it's Cradle Inspired Enterprises. So follow me, be on the lookout. We're doing something else. I know a friend didn't ask me about this, but
Yeah.
in June,
Hmm.
we are doing something. I'm calling it Brewed for More. And it's
Oh,
just, and friend, you should have received it. If you didn't, I'll make sure you do. It's
yeah.
just, I've invited 30 women, the first 30 to say yes, get a
Hmm.
free cup of coffee with me at a local coffee shop.
Oh, I
And
love that.
we're just gonna have a cup of coffee, talk about some whatever we talk about. It's no, no pressure. If you don't want to talk, if you just want to come and sip your coffee, sip your coffee. But again, see, that's the time for you to get away from the family. Not, we
Hmm.
love our families, but just to get
Yes.
away and sit and chit chat with some positive women, because that's what we're all about. We're about positive women who are pouring into others and themselves. And
Hmm.
so just come by and I'll send you the information. But if
Yeah.
you'd like to attend, DM me. You have to be in Metro Atlanta. I can't fly you in yet.
She said, yeah.
Yet.
Look, I'm here for it. Yes. Speak that on to existence. That's what
Yes,
we doing.
yes. I can't fly you in yet. One
Yes.
day I will.
Yes.
But if you're in Metro Atlanta and would like to join us, just DM me and I'll give you all the details about where we'll be.
And then
And we're
I'm
going
going
to
to have
support
your
another
information on the.
small business. We're
Oh,
going to support
yeah.
a small business. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to have your information in the show notes as well and your
Okay.
website so that people
Yes.
can connect with you. please connect with Dr. Cradle. Okay. So make sure you follow her. She has a lot of different events throughout the year. If you're
Yes.
just looking for how to be empowered, how to love yourself,
Hmm.
how to gain your confidence, if you're looking for other women, you just want to just find a social group, you need to connect with this lady right here. So
Please
get
do.
on
Please
her
do.
Instagram, follow her, get the Facebook page, like it, and all of that stuff. So I'm glad you were able to be on the show today.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I feel like a rock star now. Now that I've been on everything but the lesson plan, you can't, honey. I'm gonna be walking tomorrow when she sees me. I'm gonna have on some dark glasses, and you know,
That is
she won't be able
funny.
to watch out, world. I've been on lesson plan.
Oh gosh, that's funny. So yes, but thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, thank you once again for volunteering your time and your knowledge to improve the lives of so many other teachers. This episode is really about telling a story, and stories are good for the soul and helping people connect. We don't know who is going to listen to this one day, but hopefully they will connect with something you said. So thank you for your service, Dr. Cradle. And for my listeners, please don't forget to answer our poll, like, vote, and share this episode. And as always, keep thriving.